Cheers.
Cheers. No, I'm like, you're drinking out of a styrofoam cup. It's very 80s of you. I'm drinking out of a solo cup. I need to get like a proper glass for our show.
Yeah.
This is like very, very college.
Yeah, I was about to say. It's like the frat party.
Also, like, I always, when I have an insecurity, I always feel the need to call it out. And I had an allergic reaction. I don't know if anybody could see it at the eye doctor. Can you see this? They put eye drops in my eye. I'm like bubble boy. Like I belong in a bubble. I'm allergic to like one very like particular preservative. And so they put these eye drops in my eye and my eye is like puffed out. I'm like the opposite of Pete Davidson though. Instead of it looking like that, it's like
Gaunt.
like this is puffed out. So it's like, I don't even know. I look like Kenny Rogers after the facelift. I don't know. Anywho, I went on a bender this weekend.
Shit.
It was like a 48-hour, maybe a little bit more than that, bender. It was Halloween weekend, and I had just planned on going out for Halloween because I'll get to what my costume was, but I had like a whole thing planned. So Friday night, I'm chilling, I'm like working at the Wynn, and a friend of mine texts me and he's like, hey, like there's a friend of mine that I like, my friend Derek, he's like, I want you to meet my friend. We're all going out for his 40th birthday. Can you come downtown? So I say, like, listen, like famous last words. I'm like, I'll stay for one drink. You know, like I have stuff to do tomorrow. I'll stay for one drink. I go and they were like a great time. Like it was great, except for like, I feel like I was like, okay, like I'm just going to stay a little bit. And the next thing I know, like we started at 7 p.m. And I just remember like time went by and then it was 1 a.m. and we were in a limo on the way to Red Rock. Like all of us singing Glory Days because I'm pretty sure that was my choice. I made everybody turn on Bruce Springsteen and sing Glory Days on the way there. And then I was like, okay. And then we got to Red Rock. We keep drinking. And then I look at my phone. It's like 3:30 a.m. And I'm like, guys, I have to go home. Like I have to be body painted tomorrow in less than 12 hours. Like this needs to end. So then that was like the first night. So then I wake up 2 hours later than I thought I would. And now I have to go get body painted. So for Halloween, my friend Ryback Reeves, who's a former WWE pro, gave me the idea to be slutty Joe Biden, Ho Biden, if you will. And so I hired, or I commissioned this girl, Amber. She's amazing. I'll tag her at some point, to do body paint on me. It came out phenomenal, but I didn't realize like how kind of naked I would be.
Yeah.
So it was a little hard.
It was a little too much nakedness
Well, I mean,
for public.
I got kicked out of Caesars. I did. I got kicked out of Caesars for my Halloween costume. Which was like, it was like a Pretty Woman moment. I was like I was like, oh my God, what do I do? It was mortifying. These two very robust mountain women came up to me and they're like, you can't wear that here. And I'm like, well, I called security at Omnia, which is the club at Caesars, and they said that as long as your like extremities, your unspeakables were like actually covered, and they were with latex, that I'd be fine. And she's like, well, we're not Omnia, we're Caesars. And so they made me leave. And it was like I had to do like the walk of shame out of Caesars. And my costume was kind of like, you couldn't really tell unless you saw like the Ho Biden painted on my legs exactly what it was. So I just feel like I look like a white slutty Apollo Creed doing the walk of shame out of Caesars. So it was like, it was tough. It was really, really hard.
So that's where the bender ended?
Oh no, that's kind of like, it was like the start of it.
It was a mix.
Also, like, can everyone see my cleavage? This is like very vain of me, but I almost crashed my car on the way over here staring at my cleavage in the steering wheel and the reflection. They look good today, I feel like.
The mic shadow is just perfectly in between the two of them.
Oh, is it? It's like seatbelt?
Yeah,
seatbelt?
yeah.
Oh,
it's keeping them strapped.
That's good. Yeah. We like to keep them in
control.
Well, I mean, as much as humanly possible. So I got kicked out of Caesars, which I didn't even think was like possible. I wanted to pull like a hangover and be like, can I speak to the proprietor? Like I was so miffed. I couldn't believe it. But then like once they did that, I was scared to go anywhere else. I'm like, well, where am I going to go where they're not going to give me like a hard time? So it was tough. I didn't know that was going to happen. Actually, my very first day in Vegas, someone thought I was a hooker. This is And it's been happening, it's happened a couple times since, so maybe I need to do some self-reflection. But I was walking around trying to hand my resume out so I could get hired at one of the clubs, and some guy kept following me, asking me, like, if I had time. And I'm like, "No, I don't have time. I'm, like, trying to get a job." And I guess, like, maybe he thought that he probably thought so he followed me to 3 different resorts, and then finally I was like, "No, like, I'm going to an interview." And then he, like, left me alone. And I didn't think anything of it, and then, later on, my friend was like, "Oh, he thought you were a hooker." I was like, "Okay, well."
You said you were looking for a job.
Yeah, I didn't mean, like, a job, like a blow job or a hand job, like a real job, like a what is it? W-2 job, but he did not understand that. And granted, my dress can be a little bit risque, but I didn't think it was that bad. So now when I'm in, like, the casino by myself, I wear tennis shoes and I always have my laptop on me because I'm like, I don't think you don't see, like, too many working girls
Yeah.
trying to, like, send out a different vibe.
That'd be like in charge of the hookers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like a madam. Oh, I think that's probably just as bad, though.
Excuse me, miss, you have a laptop? Can you schedule me one of your finest gals?
I feel like I'd be a good madam. I'd take care of my people. Just saying.
That's what they all say.
So I get kicked out of Caesars. And so I'm like panicking. I didn't get any photos before I left the house, which was like the other thing was I was like, okay, we have to get photos for the gram. And so now I'm all stressed out. And so a friend of mine texts me and he's like, there's a fetish party at the Virgin Hotel, formerly the Hard Rock. So I'm like, all right, I'll fit right in there. So we go down there and we find out it's like $100 to get in. And I'm like on like the poverty line right now. So I'm like, I'm not paying $100 to get into the fetish party. So we just end up drinking at the outside bar. And it was fine. Like I just kind of was like, oh, I felt like then at that point, like I was very defeated. Like I didn't want to go anywhere. So we were kind of hanging out. And then after that, now it's like 2 a.m. A friend of mine texts me to come over to Aria. And I do. And I feel like we were taking some substances. And the next thing I know, it's 4 a.m. and I'm sitting at the Crazy Horse Gentlemen's Club. Another place where I happened to fit right in. It was perfect for me. But I was so exhausted. Like I was sitting like this. I was sitting upright, like politely, because I wanted to like pay respect to the dancer, but I also was trying not to fall asleep. So I just sat like a Stepford housewife the entire time. Most boring person at the strip club. I'm like, people always ask me, they're like, would you ever be a stripper? And I'm like, no, I'm injury prone. Like I can't get up. I would be like Aaron Rodgers. Like the likelihood of me getting on the pole and being injured within the first 30 seconds of like my walkout song, very high. Too high for me to be taking those kinds of risks.
You've definitely spun around on one of those though before, haven't you? Like just because they are pretty fun to like spin around on, like a child.
No, I've never had like
They rotate on their own, you know?
They do?
Yeah, they're not like, I used to think it was a fire pole type situation, but those poles spin.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That would explain things.
So it helps the fluidity of it.
I once saw a chick climb a pole with her thighs and her thighs alone. And I was like, wow, that's worth money. I mean, honestly. It's like if I had to choose that or Cirque du Soleil, it's like there's like no contest. Are you kidding me? Climbing a pole with your thighs? Like I couldn't even do it I couldn't do it with all my limbs, honestly. I don't have that kind of strength. Do you think you can climb a stripper pole?
Fuck no. No, I'm top heavy. Like it would, yeah, like you said, every limb it would take to lift me up. But the way they shoot down the pole from like 30 feet up and then like catch themselves with a thigh is equally as impressive.
That's true. Well, listen, I'm top heavy too. That's why if I wear heels that are like too high, I'm like, that's like the weebles wobble, but they won't fall down. But I will fall down. Like I can't, like I've been trying to work on like my legs and my ass to try to like even me out. But like for a while there, I was like completely like if I was too tall, I was like Eiffel Tower, just completely. It was so bad.
Like one of those Bobo dolls.
Yes.
Well, that's bottom
Eiffel
heavy.
Tower didn't fall down. What tower fell down? London Tower? What the hell's that kid's song? There's some famous tower that falls down.
London Bridge.
Yeah. All of a sudden, like 9/11 popped in my head, and I was like, no, that's not what I'm referencing. Just so we know, that's not. No. The other tower, the fucking whatever. You know what? Let's just move on before we piss somebody off.
On to the next topic.
I don't know, like what else I want to talk about. 'Cause it's like the first real podcast. I guess for people who've been following me for a while, they knew that I went through like a long 5-year dry spell Actually, it was more than 5 years. It was 5 years and change. And I did break that somewhat recently in May. So I've been what do we call that?
Rejuvenated? Or
Oh yeah. I was gonna say like resoiled. Like
there
I've
we
been
go.
now I'm like a sinner again.
Welcome back.
Like men don't understand this because they don't have this anatomical feature. But if you're a girl and you haven't had sex in 5.5 years like me, when I tell you it's like if you don't use it, you lose it, it's true. Like I had a hard time getting it in like the first time. Like it was bad. Like I could not, it wouldn't go in. I didn't know what to do. I was like, it was so bad. So, and then trying to explain that to the person that you're with, like in the moment without ruining the moment, it was like, it was bad. So I just tensed up, man. Like I didn't know what to do. Felt like a foreign object after all this time. So the first time it didn't work out. Like the first time we just had to kind of like excavate. We had to just sort of like, when you're like testing like the groundwater.
Right.
Like I didn't really know what we were doing. And then like the second time it went in, but it was very painful. And then by the third time, I was like back in the saddle. Like I was okay.
Here we are, baby.
Yeah. And it was great. It's good to be back. But now that I'm having sex again, like I feel like it's like the beast has been like awakened and now I just want it all the time. But I don't sleep around, so it's like trying to get it from the same person.
Yeah. I mean, do you run into the same thing the guys run into with the just after it's over, you're like, just go home. You're like, I don't want to spend time with you after this.
Oh no, I'm the opposite. Like I get so attached, which is again why I could never be a hooker because I would be like, can you just stay for a little bit? Like I'm like, I'll give you your money back. Can you just like hold me and validate me for like a couple hours?
Oh fuck.
I could never be a hooker. No, I get way too attached, which is like part of the reason why I don't do like casual sex. No, I like immediately bond to the person that I'm with. It's really bad. I envy men for being able to just like have fun and then leave. And then like the rare woman, but as chicks, it's like, it's a biological thing, right?
No, tell me about it.
So when you like females of all species, when you have sex with somebody, like there's a chemical that releases in your body that bonds you to that person. Whereas men, you are biologically designed to distance yourself from the act. So it's like from the jump, we're screwed.
Yeah, you poor ladies. Poor ladies. At least, like, I feel like some women definitely feel like I just want this guy to fucking get out of here. But I think you choose quality men, so you don't want them to leave.
You're saying, oh, I choose quality men?
Yeah.
No. There's an intense screening process, and yet somehow I still choose wrong. So it just goes to show you, no. But then, then what happens is I don't want my body count to go up. I sound like it was like a Michael Sartain episode. I don't want my body count to go up, so I have to once I pick somebody, I'm like, fuck, I got to make this work. I got to like train them up right because I don't want to have to add another person to my roster like unnecessarily.
That's unnecessary mileage there. That's what that would be called.
Yeah, unnecessary mileage.
Yes.
I used to that's how I used to market myself. I used to like I have like a low mileage, Like it's not like it's used. It's not like a virgin, like in the Arab countries where it's like, oh, she's like a virgin, you're getting married to her. No, it's not quite that good, but it's like a used, like a certified pre-owned pussy. That's what I have. Dealer maintained, low mileage. But it's not like we can't say it's never been used. But it has not been used too much, so it's still in pretty good condition, and you can get it at a discount. So that's, in these trying economic times, who wouldn't want that?
That's a fact. That's good right there. Put that on your Instagram bio.
I would, if I weren't already being shadow banned by Instagram. They are like out to get me, George.
Yeah, that's a shame. I mean, a beautiful woman getting shadow banned. Instagram's favorite thing to do these days.
It's ridiculous. Thank you for calling me beautiful. I clean up okay when I'm not having like an allergic reaction to some preservative of some sort. What else should we talk about?
So you came back to Vegas. There was lots of things like in between, like the travel part. Your fans, they are wondering like why the hiatus? Like, is there? I know he was moving, but maybe you can give a little more detail as to like what the last 3 months have been, because I think it's been really crazy for you the past like 3 months.
I know. Every time I think my life is going to get easier, it's like there's like the universe just is like, no, no, you know, but not exactly. I moved out here in August. I was living out of hotels. So actually, it's like I'm really not making a great case for myself on the hooker front. But I was innocently living out of hotels for the first month. I was moving once a week. And a friend of mine who is a gambler had a lot of comps. So he was able to just keep moving me. But even that was like, it sounds fun. Like in theory, you're like, oh, like it's like an adventure. It wasn't. It just felt like there was like zero stability whatsoever. But you do get intimately acquainted with the places that you stay for a week. So I feel like all those places hold a special place in my heart. But I moved around for 4 weeks, and then my friend Ryback said to me, "Hey, like I live up in wherever. Like I don't want to say where he lives, but he lives up in the Vegas area." And he was like, "If you want, I have like a few spare bedrooms." He's like, "You can come stay with me until you get on your feet." So I moved in there, and it's just been like it's just been a wild experience. I've tried to get a job, like a side hustle, a few different places, but it's been a little wonky. I don't know. It's
Yeah, I mean, Vegas is you're fighting for jobs that every girl in the world wants. Like they're legitimately the professional athletes of women, like good-looking women in serving jobs out here. It's a creme de la creme.
oh,
But
let me tell you. I think I did when I had to go to I guess you call it like a casting call for one of the clubs out here. I don't want to say the name of the resort, but it was a resort that's opening up, and I went to their casting call, and I have never felt so inadequate in my life. It was like the NFL combine for like big titted women. Like it was like, like when you're in your own little circle, you feel like it's like in high school, right? Like, oh, like I'm the best high school player, I'm the best player my town's ever seen. Maybe you're even good in college, but you get to that first like NFL combine, and you're like, fuck, like I am nothing. I am literally, and that's how I felt when I went in there. They had us sitting on a cold warehouse floor in bikinis or lingerie for 5 hours. I was sitting on the floor it was terrible. I'm like, oh my God, I would not wish this like on my worst enemy. It like really, it humbled me, which I guess is always not a bad thing. But now I'm like, damn, I got my work cut out for me if I want to go out for auditions for next season.
yeah, it's a tough place to break into. But when you do, like, goddamn, you're getting paid insane money, insane Vegas money. So you're not just trying to pick up any side hustle. You're trying to pick up the fucking
Like
bag.
the side hustle.
The
yeah.
bag is what you're trying to get.
It would, yeah. I don't know. So am I going to go out again in January? I will. But at least now I won't be like as traumatized because I know what to expect. But no, it was awful. I've been like in the gym like nonstop. I've been like lifting weights. I've been working out muscles I didn't even know existed.
You're on a WWE workout plan, or
I am actually, yes. Ryback did help. He was the first one who was like, I can show you how to work out. So I was like, okay, and so I started to I'm like a lifter now. Not quite a power lifter, but it does feel very 80s. Like between like my crazy frizzy sex hair and like my like lifting, and then like I'm like it does feel very 80s when I'm in the gym.
are you baggy t-shirt workout girl, or are you like, let me dress up for the occasion?
I wouldn't say I dress up for the occasion. I just wear like a sports bra and pants, but because I have like, the Pacific Ocean sitting in my implants, they just naturally like, like you can't really, unless you really cover them up, you can't cover them up. So so people probably don't know this, but when you in the implant world, 800 cc's and above is considered like extreme. That would be like you'd be going in to be like a freak almost, or like a bimbo as they affectionately call it. So I have 700, so I'm flirting with it, right? Like like I'm not quite there, but I'm up there. And so with mine, I'm like, I can't really hide them all the time. And when I went to go in and get them redone because of the weight loss, I was like, maybe we should go a little smaller. And my surgeon was like, yeah, or we could go bigger. And I'm like, we could, go big or go home. So now I'm at 700, and it's a lot. when Vegas started flooding, all I could think was, I hope silicone floats, because I could just lay on my back and hopefully get carried away,
Oh, that would happen.
right?
Yeah, that's exactly how that would happen.
No, I looked it up though. They don't. They don't weigh you down, but they also don't. I assume maybe they make you more buoyant, but it's not. Unfortunately for me, they just kind of are. They're there.
Damn.
I know. So that's like every time, like when somebody says to me, like, do you have like a doctor is like, do you have like chest pressure? I'm like, well, obviously. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't. That's not a good indicator of whether like my heart health. Like if they're carrying a lot right now, so I can't. But yeah. Are you pro implant as a guy, or are you anti implant?
I've always looked at boobs as they're nothing more than just elbows, right? We all have two of them. Sometimes there's big fake ones. Sometimes there's like saggy natural ones. But they're just elbows. So like for me as a guy, I'm like the wrong person to ask. I'm not like if the girl doesn't
So
have
you're an
implants.
ass guy. Like this is your political way of saying you're an ass guy.
100%.
Oh,
100%.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily like, not saying it doesn't do stuff, but I'm like, if you got the ass, I just know that you will be good at carrying children on your hips. So yeah, evolutionary, I choose those.
Well, even with the boobs, though, you'd be good at feeding children, right?
Can you feed babies with implants?
If you get them under the muscle. If you get them under the muscle, they don't affect the milk ducts. Although mine are so large, I'd be worried about suffocating my baby. There's so much in their face, And I always wondered, like, there should be like a scientific study if like kids who have moms with like giant tits, like if they like grow up to like implants, like are they accustomed to, I mean, I do wonder.
Yeah. That's the Oedipus complex as far as like guys being into their mom. Yeah. But then
they're into their mom.
No,
If that's your first idea of a woman.
Yeah.
Right.
If your mom has implants, you most definitely like women with implants.
You think?
I think that's pretty. There's probably studies that back that up.
Probably. I don't know. I just hope my kid has good taste, like no flat-chested women. Just kidding. No,
Oh my God.
No,
what do you want your
beautiful.
kid? What do you want your kid to come home with?
I don't know. Is it vain if I say, well, no, I don't want to say somebody like me because that's like too creepy.
Someone just like mom.
No, not exactly like mom, but like not like I don't want her to look like me, but I want her to be like kind of like attractive. Otherwise, I think like God, like what the fuck did I?
Yeah, you got to teach them about standards.
Well, not even that, but I'm an Aries and I'm very competitive. So to me, it's about having the best of everything. So it's like I want my kid to come home with like the best. Yeah. Which is terrible. I'm sure my kid will end up in therapy by the age of 20, but I do expect the best. I try to put out the best. I expect the best. This is probably why I'm single.
That would be such an awkward first dinner like encounter. Your son brings his girlfriend over to the dinner table, and you're just like, "So are you the best?"
It's like what I said before. It's like the bottle waitress auditions. I'm like, oh, so did you bring up like a pair, like a piece of lingerie to model for us at the dinner table?
Oh fuck.
No, I don't know. I'm very like, no, I'm only kidding. I wouldn't care. As long as they're a good person, I can honestly say that's all I really care about if I, had children. I don't even want to gestate children though. That's my problem.
Adopt?
Well, yeah, I would like to adopt or I would have a surrogate. I'm not cut out for pregnancy. I can barely get through a gyno exam. Like, so the idea of like shoving a melon down there it's a lot,
That is a lot to think about. I don't think about it. Well, rightfully so. But
you don't have to. Do you want kids?
Yeah, of course. I don't give off big dad energy.
You give off, I don't know. It depends on the day. I told you give off big cat energy.
Yeah,
but
big
he is
cat
a dad,
for sure.
though.
Yeah.
He is a dad of 3. He's a cat dad.
I will definitely be a father in the next 5 to 6 years. That will happen.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. And you're younger than me. How old are you?
25.
So by 30, you want to have...
Number 1.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
2 only. Maybe 3.
Oh, only 2, but 3 if there's like a drunken night.
3 if the first 2 are girls. I'm gonna keep it 100. We're gonna keep shooting till
You
I
want a
get.
boy?
Fuck yeah, I do. Like if I have any say so in this, I'll read the studies, doggy style or probably cowgirl. We'll probably promote.
Actually, you just brought up a great topic, by the way. Oh, you're saying you think that's not true. You think if you have sex in a certain position, it'll bear you a certain child?
I've heard rumors.
So wait, what gives you a girl?
What gives you a girl is missionary. That's just plain. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? That's not.
If
No.
it happens while you're picked up, the baby will end up being trans.
That is not true. We're gonna get banned off so many channels, George. No, I feel like missionary with dirty talk. You might have a girl, but you're having a CEO. Like
shit.
Oh, listen, that is top tier for me. And what do you think? You think if you have doggy style, you're gonna have like an alpha male?
Yeah, that's like the most manly thing to do right there.
It's manly, but it's also like it's too. It doesn't require a lot of skill.
True. So like the guy just may end up being like an enterprise car rental worker.
Like if you have doggy style to conceive a child, you'll have a child who fails upward. That's what I would say. Where it's like you get the job done, but it's not like you weren't inventive. You know what I mean?
True.
If you conceive a child out of missionary and dirty talk, Elon Musk. That's who you're having.
Oh, the stats that we wish we knew, right? Or like little bios, like Elon was conceived on this day, this position. Fuck. That would be dope to know.
I'll bet you anything it was like a good position.
Yeah, but you're saying missionary, missionary dirty talk. Are we talking belly to belly?
Yeah, well, as opposed to what? Oh, like on the side of the bed?
No.
Like a 90-degree angle?
Like guys like push-up position, you know what I mean? Like, holding up the fucking weight of the world on the bed.
No, I don't want him to, it's like so uncomfortable. I don't want him to die.
Yeah, but belly to belly could be like, Shane Gillis had a funny joke about belly to belly missionary.
Which is what? It's bad?
And how like guys just like they think they're sounding like attractive, but they're really like panting like a pug in their ear. Like
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you know how to talk during sex, then belly to belly is like number one.
If you know how to talk during sex.
If you know how to talk. If you don't, then yeah, give up and try one of the other 1,000 positions. I think doggy's a good finisher. Like when I'm ready to be done. But I don't, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna,
A finisher.
It's a good finisher, but I wouldn't like the whole time. Like that's all you have. It's like, ugh.
Yeah. Oh no, I get what you're saying. But I'm saying finishing position. So, yeah.
Oh, impregnating position.
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like if you can impregnate somebody in missionary with dirty talk, I think you're gonna have a genius. It's like, who was the guy that was in the wheelchair?
Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully not. Well, that's, that was probably your diet wasn't great.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you had a good diet and you did that, probably, like Bill Gates' parents, I'm sure. But then like other people probably were doggy. I don't know. You're right. We need to get the stats on that.
Yeah, we do.
How are we looking on time?
We're flowing right now. 28 minutes into this bad boy.
Is there anything else we want to talk about before we end? How do we feel about the first episode, George? This is like the first real episode.
First real episode is hilarious. The little bit of performance enhancers and the solo cups definitely promote a uncensored type of vibe. And that's why this is BRI Hunter Uncensored. So I think we're hitting the mark.
Well, I can't be censored. You know what I mean? I'm like Howard Stern. Imagine like a censored Howard Stern that wouldn't exist.
It'd be boring as fuck, dude.
No, I need to let my freak flag fly. Minus getting shadow banned on every platform that exists, but there needs to be more freedom of speech. Do you think?
Yeah, let's like Twitter post porn. Like, I can jerk off to Twitter. Like, that's not like impressive. You know what I mean? Like, try jerking off on Instagram. You could do that. That's pretty impressive. They take everything down.
No, I was gonna say like don't open that can of worms because jerking off to what you jerk off to, I could masturbate to anything.
Mm.
It's insane what I could masturbate to. Like the little, it doesn't even have to be like sexual, and I can masturbate to it.
I guess I really just need the sounds. I've identified that, like the sounds.
Oh, you're like an auditory person.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've always wanted to like get into those books.
Like
those,
ASMR? Oh, you mean like erotica?
Yeah, erotica books.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes I read shit, I'm like, fuck, that made me feel some type of way.
Oh, so you like dirty talk?
Yeah, no, that would be a huge like.
Okay, sorry, we're revealing a bit about you and Cameron's sex life here. I did not mean.
Oh yeah, no, it's okay.
We've
been together for 10 years.
Oh, so you have to get creative. So you're like Shakespeare in the bedroom by
So
now. You're
now
like
we're
writing
using
sonnets mid-fuck. You're just writing, iambic pentameter in the middle of it.
Yeah, it used to take up at least 12 hours of my week, but now ChatGPT kind of just lays out for me like what I should do.
It writes your script for you?
Yeah, it's filtered through all the different pornos in the world, and it's like, these are the most liked phrases.
Which is what? What are the most liked phrases?
Fuck.
I like to be dominated. So I like you're a good girl, like a daddy kink. Like I have that. Which is weird because I have a great normal relationship with my father, like totally normal, but I like a daddy like dominated
type of thing. Yeah.
Like, sir, yes, sir. I've gotten off to like military recruit photos.
Oh, the military uniform?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, I love, like a good, because they're taught to be like,
Yeah. Disciplined.
Like, disciplined, yeah. What else have I gotten off to? Oh God, probably the weirdest things. I've gotten off to gay porn, honestly, which is weird because in reality, I'd never be a participant.
Like guy on guy?
Yeah.
It's good.
Well, I feel like for me, it's like the forbidden aspect. Like I feel like I'm watching something I shouldn't be watching.
I feel the same way about lesbian porn, like in the sense that like, damn, I could just never do what they're doing right now.
Okay, so you're right. It's the same thing.
Like I can never do what they're doing. Like I'm a fucking big hairy guy. I'm not a like smooth,
a dainty, sapphic
sexy
goddess. Yeah.
When I'm eating you out, like I don't have like fucking, a pretty face on me. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather.
Well, I always tell men, if you want to know how to like eat a girl out, you need to watch like butch lesbian porno.
It's all fingers. Lesbians have the best fingers. I've seen it firsthand. They have the best fingers. Like they're fucking. I guess they have like this wrist bone that's like used for digging. And if you like, I guess curl your hand back towards your face a little bit.
Yeah.
They have a little bone that like is right underneath your hand if you finger a lot.
Yeah.
Farmers used to have that bone. When they were fucking planting and using their hand.
Actually, my cousin hooked up with a farmer, and she said it was great. So maybe it's all on the wrist, like they say, it's all on the wrist with the, lesbians, farmers. I've never seen farmer porn, although I do know there's like a farmer dating app. Maybe I should try that just to see.
Yeah.
Farmers only.
Yeah.
They know how to hoe. They know how to get up in there.
Damn straight.
Do you ever wonder what Amish people are like in bed?
Yeah, I wonder that about Mormon people too, because they have a lot of fucking kids. You know what I mean?
Mormon people are freaks. I will stand by that. Mormon people, that'd be a good lay if you can get in, but they're elite. It's like an elitist cult.
Yeah,
but I bet you they're good.
10% of your funds for the rest of your life if that pussy really sucks you in.
I mean, I don't know if the men are good, but I feel like the women are good, right? Because you're competing to be like one of 3 or 4 wives. So it's like you have to really stand out on your sexual prowess. I always
wonder that. I always wonder that when you're watching, like, there's a show on TLC that goes over like a polygamist type cult, and you see all the different wives, and then like subconsciously, I'm like, I can see why she was added to the list. I can see why this one was like. You're number 17. You're the hottest one. Like, I get it. Like, this dude's constantly been getting up.
I feel like I would be wife number 2. I do. I have second wife energy for sure.
Oh, fuck.
Whether it's like a Mormon or like a rich guy who's having a midlife crisis, I feel like I have second wife energy for sure. Because your first wife is like, she's like she's stable, like she's mentally stable, she's emotionally supportive, like she's your person, right? But then your second wife is like, she's fucking great in bed, but she's a mental case, but it's like a drug. You can't live without her.
You're like,
She brings the fun to the party, you know?
Right. Ugh.
So I think I'm second wife. And I don't know what the third wife is. I feel like the third wife is just kind of like, you're looking at diversity to the mix, you know? It's like the diversity hire. I'm not diverse. I'm pretty much white. So yeah, I feel like I'd be a good second wife. Plus I like older guys. Again, I have a great relationship with my father, but for some reason, I like to date guys who are like 2 decades older than me.
Yeah. I've heard women say that, like, hey, I'm going to be honest. I love older women. Like,
Do you?
oh, yeah. Yeah.
Really? You're like, I'm getting like gigolo vibes now.
Yeah. Well, that would be talk about second life. Like, if I could do it again, right? Like, that would be a dope job as a guy.
Yeah.
Because you're going there to, you know, have fun yourself, but mainly make them have fun. Even if it's like crappy. Like, they're paying you to feel great.
Well, and you've been
It's like strippers, you know what I mean? Like gigolos, strippers, same.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily want the men in the strip club that are old as fuck that are like, oh, here's $1, sweetheart.
No.
But you know,
you want the mid-tier guy.
You're making them feel good. You know what I mean? So it's like at the same time, like you're getting off to that aspect. Yeah.
I feel that. No, I feel like I have like second wife Mormon energy to me.
Second wife Mormon. That is
maybe not Mormon, but definitely because I do like to drink. I was gonna say, by the way, my solo cup is empty, so we have to wrap up this podcast soon. My go-go juice is gone. But I definitely have second wife energy. You have like bear energy.
That's a gay reference, yes?
Yes.
Yeah. I got the big ass to, you know, help out with that too.
It's like husky masculine energy.
Yes. But not like jock douchebag, but like,
no.
I know where I'm at. I am hairy as fuck. That's just the cards I was dealt. But yeah.
But to me, Harry's making a comeback. Like the 70s are coming back.
Damn straight.
And I just feel like one of my biggest fantasies is Chief Hopper from Stranger Things.
Ooh.
Like it's like he's had like it's like a little bit of a beer belly, like a lot of hair, but he's been working out his upper body. I'm like, oh my God. Like I've masturbated to that.
Wow.
Yeah. No, when he comes out of the shower in season 2 with the towel and the whole thing out, I've masturbated to it. Yep.
Pause.
Oh, pause, replay over and over and over again until I finish. But yeah, no, it's amazing. And he can take care of people. So yeah, no, that's my vibe. Like Chief Hopper, oh my God. Like, yeah. Even like Burt Reynolds in the 70s, like, oh my God. I like a little carpet, like a soft landing, you know?
Burt Reynolds was hard though. Like Burt Reynolds there was nothing like dad bought about Burt Reynolds. But I get what you're saying, like rough.
Like a mountain man.
Like rough, you know?
But I like a belly. Like I like a soft landing pad. I do not like a 6-pack. I always say nobody wants to fuck a cheese grater. Like these hard body people. Ugh, gross.
Yeah. I feel the same way. Person that's never had a 6-pack before. Fuck those guys. Those fucking skinny bitches. Eat something.
It's gross. No, I like a little beer belly, like a dad bod. So just throwing that out there to whoever's listening. All right, is it time to wrap up? Okay. So how do we wrap up? I know you asked me if I wanted to have a sign off, but I don't know if I want to have like a real sign off yet.
Yeah, no, not yet. Maybe like Chief Hopper out or something. I don't know.
If you look like Chief Hopper, DM me. No, I don't know what my sign off is. I guess we'll have to think about it. It's like a new venture, new podcast, new city. Like it's all new. So I don't know how I want to sign off yet. But I like Travis's idea where we just keep it raw, uncensored. In the porn world, we call it gonzo, which is when you just like start and end with there's no storyline whatsoever. You just fucking cut it out. So
call it gonzo.
Call it gonzo.
Gonzo.